How have we managed that then, eh? Manchester United go to Anfield and get a point, a 2-2 draw against Liverpool yesterday, man. And it was so refreshing to see a game like no other, really, against an Arsenal, City or Liverpool in recent seasons, where yesterday we actually had a threat going forward. We give it a go. We didn't just sit back the whole game like in other times, man. We could have even won it. Maybe we should have won it right at the end, man. Harry Maguire, obviously, putting the ball over the bar. Man, it wasn't an easy ball to him, granted, from Xerxes, but, I mean, if that went in, man, if that went in. You know, coming into this game, boys, like, all over football Twitter, man, all week I've seen Manchester United lose 7-0, Manchester United lose 8-0, Liverpool are going to smash them. All week, that's all I've heard, man. That's all football Twitter was saying. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, boys, that I predicted us to get anything from the game either. My prediction was going to be, it was going to be 2-1 or 3-1 to Liverpool. I think I said 2-1 to Liverpool on the prediction show on Friday here on the channel. We're going to break it down in today's episode, boys, talk through how we got that point yesterday, man, and could have been all three, as I say there, man. But as I say, I was so impressed the way we actually approached the game yesterday, and, you know, the way we actually got the point, not just sitting back the whole game waiting for it. We went for it, and yeah, I mean, it's a great morale booster for the team. We did, however, beat Man City 3 weeks ago, and then ever since then, lost 2-0 to Newcastle, lost 2-0 to Wolves, lost 3-0 to Bournemouth. Went on a really, really bad run after City looked like a turning point. Is this point at Anfield going to be a turning point? I really hope it is. The man behind me, boys, deserves all the credit, man, for yesterday. The players get the praise game to game. If they perform like they did yesterday, they get the praise. But we know this squad, the mentality's the biggest issue, man. But with Amorim, he's working, man. He's out here working, boys. He's trying to change that mentality bit by bit, and it's not going to happen overnight, as we know, because there's a bad core in this squad, as we've known for years. The mentality's very, very weak. And obviously, we need January, we need the summer, you know, to bring in more players for his system and more players that he's confident in working with. But he is working out here, man. And as I said in the last video, I mean, in the league, in terms of league form, before the Liverpool game, it was what? I think 7 points from 8 league games. The points return hasn't been great with Amorim, but I think a lot of fans are looking past that because we're wise, and we're wiser just to looking at it from face value on results. It's more what he's doing around the club, and listen, I have never had more faith in a manager since Sir Alex. That is the honest truth, man. I mean, Jose was up there, definitely. He was, whenever he came in, I thought this could work. Didn't quite work out the way we wanted to, even though we did win a few trophies. But I've been just so impressed with the way Amorim is so far, man, and the way he's speaking in the press as well. Every little aspect of being the manager right now, I just feel like, yeah, I'm actually really, really proud to have him as our manager right now. And I think we have struck lucky on getting him. But as I said, it is early days still. Let's not get carried away. A point yesterday was brilliant. In terms of the game, boys, I mean, listen, Liverpool were off it, right? Liverpool were very, very off it across the team. The guy behind me, boys, how did he mastermind a point at Anfield? Because not many teams get anything from that ground, do they? And we've had an awful track record at Anfield for years, man. I think I seen a stat going around yesterday. We hadn't scored at Anfield in the last 5 visits or something, man. I mean, that is crazy. That is crazy. And it was so refreshing, as I say, yesterday to see a Manchester United team that actually competed in a Manchester United versus Liverpool game. We haven't done that very much in the last decade, really, have we, to be honest? Obviously, we won last season against them in the Cup, but yeah, yesterday just felt that little bit different, man, the way we actually played the game. Now, that result yesterday is only capable if the whole team plays well, right, and the whole team works hard. And both those things happen for all our 11 players yesterday, man. I mean, the team put a shift in, man, player to player, each position. Yeah, you couldn't fault them. And that's why I love what Amorim said after the game, because he was actually angry. You know, it could have been easy for him to go, oh yeah, brilliant, we got a point. He's not that type of manager, though. He sees things like the fans see things. Yeah, he just feels like one of us, which is a great feeling, you know, from a fan looking in. And after the game, as I'm sure a load of you boys seen, the coach coming out, Amorim obviously saying that pretty much, you know, he's angry. He's pretty much pissed off with, and rightly so, with how the team can turn up on a game like that and not on our regular fixtures, right? So they can't turn up at Wolves, Newcastle or Bournemouth, but they turn up at Man City and they turn up against Liverpool, especially yesterday. Because yesterday was a really, really solid 90-minute performance from the team. The effort levels put in, the hard work put in, every single minute of that game throughout was just brilliant. And it needed to be that way to get something out of Liverpool, even though they had an off day, as they say. But yeah, I'm so glad he's calling that out. If we're going to achieve and get back to the glory days, so to speak, as a club, we know that mentality of the players has got to improve massively. So obviously we lined up yesterday, boys, in that regular formation, the 3-5-2 under Amorim. But it was great to have Bruno back, obviously, from suspension, and the same with Ugarte as well, man. And I think the whole team, as I say, to a man, was brilliant. It was a team effort. The distances between our defence and midfield, distances between our defenders, across the back line, it was just such an organised performance. We were able to nullify Liverpool for most of the game, man. The distances between the centre-backs was great. And yeah, you need to have that. There's so many times recently in this season, last season, where we've just been so open, so easy to run through. You know, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter whether you're one of the better teams in the league or even one of the worst teams in the league. You can run through it because you give them so much space. Yesterday wasn't like that, and I think, as I say, it was a whole team effort. But I think we'll have to particularly shout out, man, this midfield behind me, Mainoo and Ugarte. They were absolutely immense in that midfield yesterday. The distance they covered, never stopped running. Ugarte has really impressed me since coming to the club, and it was also great to see, obviously, Mainoo. Yes, he's been not had the season he wanted, you know, without injury, just never really hit the ground running this season so far. But he looked yesterday like he's getting back near his best. And they're Amorim's two strongest midfielders, you know, for me, without a doubt. You know, there's such a transition between those two, and then you rock up with like Casemiro or Eriksen. It's just lights out when you do that. Because yes, great players in their prime. Don't have the legs anymore, man. And I mean, Liverpool's midfield, boys, I mean, it's one of the best in the league. Gravenberch, you know, what a sign he's been for Liverpool. Great season he's been having. And then obviously you've got Curtis Jones, you've McAllister, who I thought did have a decent game yesterday, to be honest. He did cause some issues. But yeah, as I say, I think overall, Mainoo and Ugarte, they stood up, man, with the help of the rest of the team, but they stood up in that midfield yesterday. And not only were they great, boys, in terms of, yes, you know, aggression, tackling, you know, tenacity, actually, you know, just putting in full effort the whole game, all the running, the ground they covered. That was obviously great, right? But I'd expect our players to do that anyway, you know what I mean, in terms of a game against Liverpool. That's the thing that Amorim's pointing out, you know, the questioning the mentality of the players, because they can do it against the Cities and the Liverpools. Maybe they'll do it again at Arsenal in the Cup next weekend, but will they do it in our general league games against maybe lower in the league opposition? That's the question, man. That's when the mentality comes in. You know, you got to do that every single time you play. You step out in that pitch for 90 minutes. But, as I say, what also impressed me, apart from all of that stuff, was the fact that yesterday, and that led into our better team performance as well, the fact that, and the whole team I felt did this, but mainly in the midfield, in the crowded areas, Mainoo and Ugarte were so calm under pressure on the ball. The whole team did it, as I say, boys, but particularly Bruno, Mainoo, Ugarte, those three, I really noticed when they took the ball under pressure, man. You know, in those crowded areas, maybe a couple of Liverpool players on them, so calm, got their foot in the ball, and actually had the quality to play the pass and move the ball on, man, and create space going forward for us. That's why we offered more threat going forward. You know, there's so many times where against these teams before, we just sit back, soak up the pressure and try and break on the counter, and sometimes just a case of clearing the ball back on the pitch, you know, and you don't even care where it goes, just getting it cleared, you know, away. And then but by doing that would allow Liverpool to recycle attacks. We didn't do that as much yesterday. You know, I find a lot of our players were getting their foot in the ball. There was it's weird to say, but there was like a weird confidence in the Manchester United players yesterday, which I don't really know where it came from, considering our recent form. But it's just, yeah, they stepped up, man. They bloody stepped up and they got us a draw, which is a big result. And listen, our league form is awful this year. We're not probably going to get even into a European place this year, even Europa League. Can we use that result to kind of springboard our season? Europa League we're still in, FA Cup we're still in, and you know, we'll just try and do as well as we can in the league, pick up our season a bit. I certainly hope so. I certainly hope yesterday was a turning point, boys. Now, whether it will be or not, we'll know in a few weeks, I guess. That's what really impressed me. Not just the players' like determination and focus throughout the game, but it's also their ability to actually have a bit of quality in the ball against a good team like Liverpool. When they were pressing you, you had a couple of players around you. We had the awareness and the calmness in possession and the quality then to build from that and keep the ball in those crowded areas, which we don't usually do. We usually just put it away. I want to know your boys' thoughts, boys. Get your comments in if you're a Liverpool fan, Manchester United fan, or obviously if you're a neutral as well, boys. If you did enjoy, please do drop a like on the video, boys, and of course subscribe. We're in the new studio today as well, man. I love it. You get a little bit of a backdrop, whatever we're talking about in the back. Obviously, Old Trafford's there in the background. It's not really, it's a green screen. Obviously, you've got Old Trafford there in the background as well. I've got a nice little cozy FK Sports studio here, man. So, yeah, really appreciate you boys watching. Let me know what your thoughts on the studio. Let me know your thoughts on the video. And, yeah, please do subscribe if you're new, boys. Good to have you involved in the channel. If you're new, we're on the road to 500 subscribers on this channel. Loads more content to come. And, yeah, till the next one, peace out.